every day in StarCraft, it's like you already understood the basics, right? You know the basics, but little by little, even every day for me, I go, hey, let's try this build out and see where it goes. And you're like, okay, this is a pretty good build. And then right here, you're like, oh shoot, I get hit by Widow Mines. What do I do there? And you're like, okay, this is what I'll do. And then you start branching out. You're like, oh shit, I keep getting Banshee hit. And you're like, oh shit, I gotta figure out this one. And then you gotta go over here. You're like, oh man, I gotta work on my macro. I keep getting this composition countered or such. You learn this one. And then within all the other stuff, you got your unit compositions, and you start creating a tree, right? And that's one build. The other then you got another build. You're like, let's try this build, and let's try that build. Let's try this build. Let's try that build. And then through all the struggles, you're going to create another path within that objective. And those paths have different choices of unit compositions. And you kind of grow as a player. And once you already have the wisdom of these branches, you start learning how your tree needs to grow in your game. In each game is different because each player plays different strategies, but there's a certain balance of there's only so many strategies people tend to want to do that help you grow without getting too frustrated as you're creating these branches. Happy little tree needs a friend. There's his friend right there. There you go. Every little tree got a friend. He's got one leaf, but that leaf is pimping. He combs that leaf. He styles it. He does what he can with it. But he's got that one leaf. His little buddy. Yeah, you want me to hire the game sound? Let me see. Let me know if you needed to hire. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what people like. It's hard to please everybody, but I'm trying to figure out where the line is of where my boundaries can go. Thank you. Ooh. Yes, they are. It's the salt, I think. It's the special type of salt that kills it. Just don't like it. It just don't like it. till they die. There it is. Oh man. We'll rewind that. Okay. So enabled. Let me lower this. Alright, the way this one particularly worked is I've been kind of testing the waters with zealots in regards to after cannon rush, after denying a pull first, because I've been trying to keep away from cannons at the third if I need to take out the hatchery, or the fact that I might get Nidus rushed. So this one was kind of like, in a sense, to counter the Nidus rush. The way this one works is you make a pylon, you get a gateway and a forge. It don't matter really when you make what first, because they're right behind each other. So whichever way you like, gateway, forge, forge, gateway. At this particular one, you just want to make sure your tech is going to switch up, but your gateway is very important in this particular follow-up. Now the probe in the beginning that scouts, he goes over here. No hatchery. I should be over here already making a pylon, but I was a little delayed on, going inside. I knew it was going to be a pull first, but I saw a gas, so I was like, might be a little later. Because usually a pull first, early pull first, you don't get a gas that early. Alright, so I see this, I saw the pull, it's like, okay, it's only halfway done. So it's not an early pull, because or else the lings will be out just about now, going to your base. So because that's not the case, this is a little bit delayed pull. And it's barely halfway. So when that happens, that's why you take this pylon. The pylon makes it seem like the Zerg is going to be like, oh, you're trying to just block me. Well, I'm going to get my link soon and destroy it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Which is what the Zerg's, pretty much thinking when I go up there. Now, the other thing is, the Zerg player decides, right, it's like, oh, you got a pylon block. I'm just going to go take the base over here. and then I should be able to take this base right after this. What the Zerg player doesn't understand is that this isn't going to be your normal pylon block for the hatchery. I'm going to make 2 cannons because people go, who cannon rushes a pool first? You know, who cannon rushes a pool first? Just in the, you know, that's a quick answer. Like, no one cannon rushes a pool first. You normally go back home and make a cannon and just defend yourself. You have time to defend against a pool first, which is getting if you're making a pylon at the natural to fake the block. If you fake the block, the pylon's up quick enough for your cannons to start coming up without him thinking you're cannon rushing that that spot. So now the cannons are up. He can't get out. And he just went for a very, very heavy greedy aggression. Like, not greedy aggression, well, like hyper aggression. They went for a pull first. Cut corners to try to do harass. And now he can't. So the next thing is that they try to get a hatchery. So the hatchery is going to help them follow it up. We'll say, oh, if I got a hatchery, at least I'll be able to macro behind this. And then we'll kill this after with Ravagers. And that'll be no problem. So that's what the Zealots are for. So the reason why I'm making Zealots right when the gateway comes up is because I'm going to use them instead of using pylon cannons. Because if I pylon cannon this base right here, the Overlord might spot it. He's going to cancel it again and cancel it again and all that stuff. It's better to just kind of like get the Zealots, go take it out, and avoid more harass. So there goes this. Now we walled our base, right? So we can't get the Zealots in the walking way. So you got to recall them inside, but it's fine because this is a time where Zergs are going to be very aggressive on the Nidus rush, especially if they're not attacking you from the front. Here, I just wait for everything to die. I don't leave until that creep dies and then the larva dies, because I don't want a drone to come up and take off somewhere in the middle of the map, or, you know, make a base. So we come back over here, recall, patrol quickly our Nidus locations. The Overlord's already gonna get taken out. That one's gonna get taken out. Your Zealots that helped you take out his hatchery are the same Zealots that helped you defend the Nidus Worm. And you can keep doing your void raids. You don't have to worry about wasting gas. And he's like behind. Now the other part is that even if he did come over here and try to break in, there's nothing to kill right here. And so he can't snipe the Nexus even if he tried. So that's why you get this base, the top left base, whenever you do stuff like this, because that means he's going to go aggressive to your base. He's going to be very like after your workers, and you could always recall your workers, and that'll piss him off because he can't do damage. And he'll be like, what? Or you just wait, you recall ahead of time before he goes up the ramp. He doesn't see you running around, loses units, you're mining, and then you get a third. And then once he finds out that there's a base over here, you should be able to recall back over here to your third, which turns into 2 base again. Stuff like that, you know. But that's how this particular build works in regards to using your gateway right away, getting Zealots to go kill off that hatchery while you defend. Now, don't do this, like, you could do a pylon, but don't do cannons if you see the pool already up. That means he went for a 12 pool instead of like a 14 pool or 16 pool, 15 pool, whatever you call those pools.